Hello, good evening, and welcome everyone. Welcome to the Core Ecosystem live stream. So tonight we are going to finally unveil everything we have done in the last 6 years in development, and also all the other development and projects that we have done. We are extremely excited to talk to you about this tonight and to showcase you what we have achieved and where we are going, and to answer a lot of questions that we get of how far are things in development and what are we doing next. So, I think the most important thing to start off with is to introduce to you our panel for tonight and your hosts for tonight. So, we will be going now to our team. So here, as you can see, we have Michael Loebscher, our CEO. We have Rastislav Waszczycka, our CIO. And we have Alfred Latzenberger, our Market and Investor Relations Manager. So I'm going to ask Alfred to now take over from me and discuss a little bit about our project. Alfred, if you please.
Hello and good evening, good day, wherever you are tuning in from. Very welcome. Thank you, Oka, for the starting words. And very welcome again to you all for joining in tonight and today. And thanks for joining. I would like to quickly explain a little bit in very short, brief words where we started from, why we developed Core the way it is, and what you're gonna see tonight, where that actually had its beginning. Basically, to tell you the truth, many things started already far before we all got together, like the team that Oka just presented. It started in 2004 and some things even earlier when Oka and Michael did the first tokenization, when tokenization wasn't even known in the market yet. Yeah? So it was not Bitcoin blockchain that started it. It was actually Oka and Michael that did it before that, and other people followed. So it's something that has happened before that. But basically, in the structure as you find us today, we started somewhere in the 2016. At the end of 2016, we started off with our first mining rigs. So we started with a mining facility. In August 2017, we had our first token sale, and from that on, we started moving very fast forward. So that nowadays we have a community, an active community of around 1,400 people that are talking to us, that are supporting us. And a special thank I also want to say to those people that tuned in tonight or watch this video later that have supported us from the very beginning. And a big shout out to you guys for staying with us, supporting us, staying calm. And now you will be surprised and amazed what we have achieved and what we have done with your support also. And for those of you who don't know, we have, of course, a very active community on Telegram, on Twitter. We are posting regularly now on YouTube. And of course, we will have a follow-up onto this presentation of tonight, because we will, of course, take some of your questions. Please, if you have questions, send them to contact@coretoken.net, the email. We select as many as possible. We will answer them at the end of this stream. If not possible, because we don't want to spend much more than 3 hours tonight, then we will do anyways a follow-up, and we'll go through all the questions that you will still have. But wait till the end before you start asking questions, because I'm quite sure many of the questions, if not all, will be answered anyways during the stream. So enjoy the show, lean back, take a pen and some paper, write down some things that you don't know and you have to Google later. And for the rest, enjoy the show. Thank you.
Good evening to everybody, and welcome tonight here on our talk. everybody welcomed everybody so many times already, but we are thankful for our investors and our community who joined us, and we are very happy to have you guys around, and girls as well. So what is important is to talk tonight a bit about the blockchain network of the core system that we've developed. I think it is critical that one has to understand that the blockchain itself is not a really functional, actionable project if it doesn't have some form of application and some form of implementation. So the core blockchain network is basically a network that we developed, which is something like a consensus environment and execution environment. This consensus execution environment is specifically built for use cases and specifically built to be an affordable, scalable project in a secure environment. And what we've actually achieved throughout the years is to develop a platform of applications that actually take the blockchain, the core blockchain, to the level of implementation and execution in a normal daily life, and where you will in a normal daily life see how the actions are actually taken care of and how the secure environment is created. It actually also speeds up, and if you look at probably some of the most, and I would like to call it most used cases that you know about, would be probably in the fintech industry. And if you look at some of the current situations in the environment before blockchain, the digital technology was still slow, and blockchain actually offers that opportunity to make it much faster. The problem is that as time goes by, some of these blockchains become more and more expensive, and what we've developed was a project that is completely affordable and able to actually execute in a really, I would say, fast platform, and Rastislav will explain this in more detail of our scalability and our speed in a few minutes from now. What I can say is that we have developed these applications that could be implemented in various environments, and these environments doesn't only include the fintech industry. It includes any other part of development in digital identity, in the development of, I would say, also in the healthcare. And if you look at today how things are spread in the blockchain implementation, probably around 50% of the implementation is in a blockchain in fintech environment, and then you will find around 12 to 15% in supply chain, in healthcare, and in other industrial development projects. And then you find e-government as a follow-up, which is actually one of our key focuses, is to program our blockchain, or our programmability is absolutely orientated towards regulation. It means that we execute regulation to the finest of the regulatory requirements by the particular jurisdiction of where we deploy the core blockchain. I think it's important that Rastislav should continue now to explain a little bit more about the technology itself, what we've developed, and how the current technology and how the blockchain technology of Core Group is really differentiating itself from the current competition that we have in the market. Rusty.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining our streaming, and I will explain you a little more about our blockchain, about our cryptography, and what we achieve in our project. First of all, let's focus on core blockchain itself. We implement their ED448 cryptography, which we are the first one who did it in the whole blockchain. And this gives us plenty of opportunities. Instead of the security, which is really on the highest level and can be applied also for banking, some organization, even the government, because also big organization and secret services are using the similar or the same cryptography, then we can apply that for several projects and use cases which help us a lot. This bring us also the speed of transaction. We can verify the transaction in 42 seconds. That means that you have information directly, but the verification takes in the place in 42 seconds. And is it quite fast and useful for our transaction on the blockchain and for all our use cases. Then we are using the 4 level of communication. First of all is normal internet connection where we can stream the blockchain information. Then we're using also GSM connection, also the GSM down to GSM 0. And then we are using also the communication with the mesh network, with the Luna mesh network, which can stream the information even without the internet connection. Then we are also using several ways of transmitting the information, and we can use the epidemic routing. That means that you execute the information and you will receive it little later when you are in the reach of this information or in our nodes. Then we implement in our blockchain the banking standards. We implement in our transaction the IBAN structures for cryptography, and we have several prefixes right now. We have XCB as the main ticker, and we have XCE for the ticker for enterprises and for governments, where you can build your own private network when you want to deploy your information, smart contracts, and something what you need. Then instead of the main network, we have also testnet, XAB, and also XCE for private networks. Then you have 3 network possibilities which you can work on and also stream all your information. What is very interesting to mention that we have inside the smart contract functionality with our programming language YLAM, and this give you the opportunity to create smart contracts and deploy on the network. Then we develop several smart contracts, mainly for core token, but also for other purposes and use cases. And you can deploy also your information on the smart contract and stream it. We connecting the normal world, what we have right now, with the blockchain using the oracles. Oracles are connector between the blockchain and current application, what you are running right now. And these oracles give you the opportunity to transmit your information from your software directly to the blockchain and vice versa. Then you can just use our benefits and deploy your current infrastructure into the blockchain and connect your information there. This gives you also these opportunities like streaming the information offline, streaming the information worldwide, because we have quite a big reach worldwide, not only on the Europe segment, but also in other places where we will deploy our mesh devices over the world, and we will just reach also other information. We also developed with our software the transmission of financial information, where the big corporation or the banks or financial provider can be connected, and they can transmit the information through our blockchain network and use these services also to receive and send the money, let's say crypto money, and also can be converted to the fiat money. This you will hear a little more in wall money use case, where we will follow. Then I want to mention we are using also the whole decentralization, not only on the level, the basic that we are just open source, but we also using the decentralization in the mining, because we are using the proof of work with the small devices. These proof of work devices using the waste energy, because we are not consuming a lot of energy, and everybody can deploy their own devices. The devices are not only for a blockchain, but can be used also for a storage and can be used also for other purposes. As you want also use it for a Luna Mesh connectivity. Then you can connect to these devices with our Luna Mesh. Then you can deploy it not only like in your facility, but also in cars. We are developing Android Auto possibility that you can use it in your car and can be connected with your current devices using the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Then your current devices can work with our connectivity as well and can receive and send the blockchain information. We are also develop our mining algorithm Cryptor, which is connected to these devices. That means that also these small devices or this computer will produce some income for you. Then you can deploy your devices and there will be income for you, and there will also be some reward for you to running these devices. Then regards to the decentralization, we want to spread these nodes worldwide and not be in certain area like China or some other places where all the miners are focused, but it will be decentralized structure of the mesh network in the whole community. Whole community will have every decision about the information about the whole blockchain, and it will serve for all the people, including all the services and use cases what we have. Then this is also what we're bringing with the blockchain, and we won't be so open and we won't be so decentralized as possible. Then it's also for you. And with the improvement of the cryptography, Edwards Curve 448 is it like a big opportunity to connect also big businesses into our strong network. You can be part of the strong network and you can join it and use it with your current devices in our network with the Bluetooth, with the Wi-Fi, Luna Mesh network. Then in our protocol, we develop also something well known about the Whisper protocol, which is using Ethereum, or what should be used by Ethereum, but we bring it on the next level because we are sending, using the Whisper protocol, the encrypted information, strong cryptography. And this encrypted information, we know who is sending the information, who is receiving the information, but we don't know the body. Then we can send the information there as the documentation, as a chat messages, and plenty of other information on our blockchain network. Is it enabled in every node, and you can transmit the information. Then you can connect to these nodes, and is it a full decentralized messaging platform where you can send all this information. Then our reach will be even bigger if you can join us and connect to our network. Thank you so much, and let's continue with the next topic, something about our use case, core token. Okay, I will explain you about the core token and core token use cases. First of all, what is core token about? Is it smart contract which give you the opportunity work on our use cases, work with our services? Is it already in the sale? You can buy it. And core token, it's the token which can bring you all this portfolio of the services what I mentioned before. All our services will have the opportunity to pay with core tokens and use our services. You can buy it and also use it. It will be connected to the system with other cryptocurrencies. Is it interoperable, and is it possible to connect? Then we can use the blockchain connector, for example, that I explained before, the oracles which can be connected with the banks or can be connected with the financial services, also working through the core token infrastructure. Then everybody who is transferring the information from the oracles to the blockchain network is using the core tokens. All our use cases, what we will mention later on, like Think, and also about the Ping platform will use the core tokens, and you will have also the possibility to use the core tokens for these services. Then all these smart contracts what we will build will be programmable on YLAN network, and this YLAN network will be also open source for everybody, and you can build your own token or your own smart contract which can be connected to our portfolio of use cases with the means of payments of core token and core token itself, which can be connected to the Ping exchange, which can be connected to other services, also core pass and core blockchain in the end as well. Then everything is operable and can be connected there. Something maybe about the way of using it for regulation, or what is the regulation? Maybe that's the right question. First of all, we are just establishing ourselves in plenty of various sectors because we won't be full compliant with our services. We will do the best, and also core token we will just organize in this way that will be compliant with all the services, with all the use cases. Then each use case will have his field, and it will be used also core token platform, and core token platform can be used there for all the services you want to consume or create the wealth.
So I will discuss with you about core pass and the digital identity. Now, first of all, the very important thing to understand is that core pass is a digital identity which is not only seen as a passport or an identity or a digital passport or anything like that. It's much more. It's actually the entry into any environment, whether centralized or decentralized. So to explain a little bit about core pass, first of all, we need to go into what is an identity. An identity is not only the identity of a human being, which is your passport, your ID, your driver's license, or anything like that. It could also be an asset, which is a digital attribute. It could be a commodity. It could be whatever you want it to be. So for anything to actually be identified in a digital environment, or let's say even a centralized environment, you have to identify it. Now, to identify it, you have to enter into a centralized environment. So let's take a use case, for example. A use case, let's say a passport. A passport is issued by a government. So to take the passport itself, you have to enter into a centralized environment where you can actually get the feedback and know that this passport is legitimate for that individual. If you want to take a property, you have to enter into a kataster, as we call it here. I don't know in which country that you're streaming from, but there's a centralized database that states a property and the ownership of the property, whether it is encumbered or not encumbered. This is exactly what we have built the core passport or the core pass application for. And that is to actually identify everything that you can imagine, whether it is a vehicle, a property, a commodity, an asset, a person. It can even go as far as your child, a dog, a wife, a husband. Everything can actually be attached to your digital identity. And once we've entered into the centralized environment, which we have used Identify as one of our service providers to actually provide us, that's why we actually can, in every single country in the world which is recognized, we can issue a digital identity for an individual. But we also have what is that is called KYC. Then you have KYB, which is the businesses that you need to recognize, the assets, if it's a property, you involve banks, you involve various other platforms to actually recognize those products. Once we get the feedback, we then actually enter that into a fingerprint. Now, the fingerprint is not what's on your thumb or on your forefinger, or let alone be it a middle finger, but a fingerprint is actually made up of your timestamp, your amount of data that you've entered, the type of data that you've entered, and this actually gets put into the blockchain ledger itself. And in that ledger, we are able to then connect into a decentralized environment to be able to showcase or to verify that this individual, this asset, this property, this commodity belongs to that individual or is unencumbered. We can check every single thing. And to protect the data, what we have done is we made it decentralized. So once downloading the CorePass application, you actually store the data on your individual device. This makes it decentralized. It's not entered into a centralized database. However, when you are using the information for a financial institution or a financial services company or entity, you have to conform to regulation. To conform to the regulation, you have to have a vault. So we developed on top of it a financial vault which can be implemented into various financial institutions for individuals to be able to verify that this individual has what they say they have. Now, on top of it, we have implemented it into the banking environment for financial regulation to be able to verify all the transactions which have taken place. Now, this doesn't mean that anyone can just pull your data from the vault itself. It actually means that the vault checks inside the blockchain whether your information is accurate and is up to date, and the transactions that you're doing are legitimate. Now, this touches on a fine border which is called AML, which is anti-money laundering. Now, the reason why we built CorePass specifically for this is so that we can verify wallets where transactions in a digital asset environment is recorded. So if you are transferring from a wallet which is an offline wallet, or in a Trezor or Ledger or whichever platform you are transferring, it could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, it could be Litecoin, and of course it has to be CoreCoin or CoreToken. Those wallets are KYC'd, which means it can be implemented into a financial institution, and it can actually be used in a centralized environment for decentralized applications. Now, the entire CorePass application actually works on a CoreToken YLM smart contract, which Rastislav has explained prior to my explanation, which I'm doing right now. So, to take you through it, I'm going to share a little bit of the video and the trailer that we did, and I'm going to give you an entire walkthrough so you can understand exactly what it's all about. So let's go to the CorePass application. Now, to explain to you a little bit about CorePass, here we have, as you can see here, we have the application that you can sign into once you have done your KYC and you have verified your document. Now, these documents can be a driver's license, an ID, a passport, or a residency permit. Or you can do all four, and I will explain a little bit later why it will be useful to do as many documentations that you have to verify yourself. So once you've entered your PIN code, you get to this screen. This screen is actually where you can do a peer-to-peer connection in a decentralized environment using the Whisper protocol to send the information. So you have two options here. You have provide data or request data. Now, when requesting data, you actually have various fields that you can request, which I will showcase here. First of all, you can see you have the scan history. So you have an entire history of all the transactions that you've done in the past where you have provided your data to. So if an individual, if an entity, if a company, if a website has requested your information, that will all be logged in here of information that you've provided. And if you have requested information, you can actually select the requested tab and view it, or view all the transactions that you actually did. So when we go to request data, here is the template that we have. Now, there are multiple fields inside the application that you can actually request. The first part is you select the various fields when you are requesting data. So you request, you want to request from, let's say, user A to user B as a peer-to-peer request. So you want to ask for their first name and their gender. Once you have selected those fields, you can then actually, it will say to you what the amount will cost for the transaction because it's in the blockchain. The user then, on the other side, now there are three forms in which you can request information. The first form is with a QR code when you are near to the individual, or you can use NFC, which you can just tap the two mobiles together and you can request that information. But if someone is on another part of the planet, let's say someone in America is requesting information from someone in Europe, you can use the CorePass ID. So here we have a QR code. Once you scan the QR code, it will state to you the scan is successful with the pre-selected fields that you have selected. Then we can actually go on to I will move it a little bit back because it was a little bit fast. You can see here an individual, Birute, I cannot really read there because I don't have my glasses on because I thought I would look prettier without my glasses. But Basanavicene has requested information. You can view these details. So there you can see that you can request actually the information, and it was first name and it was first name and gender, which was being requested. And once it has been accepted, or you can decline it, it will then state on the other mobile of the requestee that it was successful. Then the individual can go and have a look at the data that was received, as well as the alternative information, which was the full breakdown. Let me go a little bit back here. I was a little bit slow on my clicking. So here you can see the result, and here you can actually see the information which has been requested. So the transfer date, the transfer currency, the transfer amount, the transfer method, which was used QR code, NFC, or CorePass ID, and then of course the individual's CorePass ID itself. Then when it comes to identifying yourself, you can verify your identity. We do KYC, AML, PEP, CFT. Now, this means KYC is know your client. AML is anti-money laundering. PEP is politically exposed persons. CFT is counter finance transactions. Or terrorists, counter finance terrorists, let me correct that. And of course, we can even go as deep as looking, depending on in which country you are, whether there is sex offenders or anything like this. So here you can actually select your nationality, then you can select which form of identity you want to use, whether it's a driver's license. I will just go a little bit back because I was a little bit slow with my clicking here. So you have a driver's license, you have a passport, you have an identity card, and then we can actually go on to, as you see there, I made a little bit of a mess here. I do apologize for that. So here we can actually go, let me just move it a little bit on. I do apologize for this. Okay, so here we verify, okay, and here you can select the various items, and there is identify, and then of course there are two parts which you can do. The one part is if you want to use it for your financial information, or if you want to just stay out of the financial industry and just use it as an individual peer-to-peer connection without any financial services providers. So here you can actually see your entire profile. So once you have completed the profile, it will automatically fill out all the details and showcase you all the verified fields that you have. So we have Birute, which is the first name, Basanoviciene, sorry for my pronunciation there, but that's the last name, the date of birth, the nationality, which is Lithuania, and she is a female. So what we can do from here is we can actually look at various fields. Now, as I said before, you have an entire database of information that you can request, and all this information is stored on your local device. So you can request the picture, which is a profile picture and 3D liveness of the individual, but you can also request the actual picture of the passport or the actual picture of the driver's license. And because we allow you to select this depends on the individual whether they will accept to send this information to you, making it fully GDPR compliant. So let's move forward. And here you can see a profile picture, which you can select. So the next part of the CorePass application is the wallet that we have inside. There are two parts to the wallet. The one is the CoreCoin wallet, and the other one is the Core Token wallet. Now you can send, receive, or top up your account. So basically, this is your KYC wallet that you have. Now, here we have multiple screens, and there's quite a lot going on the screen here, but you can actually receive funds or request funds. You can transfer money, or you can top up using your credit or debit card, or you can transfer other crypto through the exchange, because this is actually fully integrated into the entire Core ecosystem with the Ping exchange, with the Core Pay application, with all the various financial applications that we've built. Everything is seamlessly integrated. And for all the services which you are requesting, and this is again to answer how does the demand of Core Token happen, all services are paid in Core Token. So here we're just going to go through, so you can see you can do QR code, NFC. So this is actually the part where the data library happens. Here you have multiple fields that you can go through and you can have a look at. There is licenses, residency, pictures. We've got even system info, and of course, with the expansion that we've done, we can do KYB, we can verify that you are the individual of a particular business, we can verify that you own a digital asset, which is a property, or it can be a commodity, or whatever it is that is on your name that you can prove you own through certification. And the last part of CorePass, this is just to show you how beautiful it is and the various transactions we did, because the actual application in this video was made using the real application. Now, it is a little bit necessary for us to get a little bit technical, because this is to prove to you that the core blockchain and that the core token smart contract is actually functioning. So the next video that we have is the KYC platform. Now, I'm going to take you through the entire KYC platform here and the entire core blockchain. You have three windows which you can see here. The window at the top left is user A, the window on the right is user B, and below is the actual core blockchain network running. You can see there the milliseconds for transactions of the mining to take place to prove the transactions. So let's go through the application. Now I'm going to go a little bit faster through it because it's to save a little bit of time. So I will just skip through it a little bit. And you can actually see here that we have now actually called the smart contract up in the YLM. This is the addresses that we have. So here you can see the core token equals XCB, and it's got the contract itself. So we're calling up the core token smart contract. That is the core token smart contract. Now, that's actually for the KYC contract, specifically for CorePass. So what we will do here is we will then actually define the core token address, and you can see here that we are at the moment here calling the KYC token, and we're purchasing the KYC token to be able to do the transaction. Now, we did this manually so that we can actually show you how the blockchain and how the smart contract works. Now, this is an important part here. On the left-hand side, in the top left-hand corner, you can see multiple functions. Now, I'm going to pause here for a little bit, and I'm going to talk you through what these functions mean. First things first, to ensure that the transaction can take place and that funds are transferred and data is transferred, one needs to make sure that there's no double spending and that there is no fraudulent transactions taking place. So the core token smart contract has a contract where you send the funds to that is frozen. Once the funds are frozen, when the data needs to be transferred to the new address or to the requestee, prior to that happening, a check needs to be done in the blockchain to actually showcase that this data is what this individual has requested, and it is true, and it is valid, and it complies to all the fingerprints, what I described a little bit later. So once the data is transferred, the smart contract with the Whisper protocol acknowledges that the transaction has taken place in a data transfer. Then funds can be unfrozen and sent immediately to the individual that the data has been requested for, because your data has value and needs to be remunerated. So these are various functions that you can see here in the explanation. So let's go a little bit forward, and we've got here the KYC token instance to buy the token itself. Then we have in the core blockchain, we have what is called energy, which for people to relate to is in the Ethereum blockchain is energy, is gas. Now, our energy is similar to that of gas. And this is required because we are a proof of work, and our blockchain requires this energy to be transferred, to actually process the transaction, as Rastislav explained earlier. So let's move a little bit forward here. Now you can see there actually the energy has taken place, the address is there, and here you can actually see the transaction taking place of the tokens that have been purchased. So we can then move forward and we can showcase here the price call. Okay, so we're calling against the transaction again, and we're going to call against the Whisper protocol for the data to be transferred. Now, I don't want to bore everyone. For us developers, this is extremely beautiful. This is much better than any video that you can see in a user environment. But here you can actually see KYC contract instance add data. So user A is now going to add the actual data, and we have Mochbaba, wonderful name, to state it that the data is true in the blockchain and that it can be transferred because that is the first name. Of course, we picked up an error there. So we're going to move forward, and here you can actually see the transaction that has taken place with the Whisper protocol to actually transfer that information. Now, what needs to happen is once the data has been immediately transferred, you need to immediately instruct the smart contract to unfreeze the funds because you have a verified transaction in the Whisper protocol of the data being transferred, and you can verify that on the other side. So now we're going to go to user B, and we're going to check the smart contract and the address, and we're going to check the balance of user B. So the balance gets checked, and we call the balance, and there it states to you 1,000. So when we continue here, the transaction will actually take place with 100 core tokens that have been transferred, as you can see once again down here with the transaction that took place. And we had to do this manually, so it actually happens all automatically for you to do the transactions and have everything taking place in this environment for with blockchain and decentralized transacting and Whisper protocol data transfers. Everything happens automated. Now here we are looking at the smart contract, and we are getting the data, and you can see false or true. Mochbaba is true, so you actually have the data that has been transferred here, going through the Whisper protocol with the amount of tokens that have taken place, with the transaction once again taking place over there. And this is the actual blockchain and smart contract which has taken place. So now what we're going to do is, having shown to you this part, the important thing that you need to understand is everything in our ecosystem that we've built, this is the entry point. So whether you are going to trade on Ping Exchange, crypto to crypto, fiat to crypto, or crypto to fiat, fiat to fiat, whether you want to trade with assets, commodities, securities, security tokens, financial instruments, or stocks, shares, and bonds. I'm now going to hand you over to Rastislav to explain to you about the Ping Exchange platform.
Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, my mic was off. That happened. I will start from beginning. Then I will give you the brief overview about our ping exchange and what we can do in our exchange. Then in our ping exchange, we can trade multiple kind of commodities or assets. We can just trade cryptocurrencies, we can trade tokens, and we can trade also not only fiat, but also Forex. We will have also all these necessary requirements for that and licenses. Then we can trade also asset commodities, I mentioned, also metals like as well. Then everything can be put in the ping exchange and you can use it for trading. There is several types of trades. You have the market order, stop orders, and also limit orders. This all the trading can happen in the place. And then also we will trade their core token as one of our means of payments for our use cases, core coin of course, and several other like most common cryptocurrencies, also most common fiat currencies. Then let me show you how it look like in ping exchange, that you can see it directly, and I will show you step by step what is inside, what is incorporated, and everything in the ping exchange. You can see it right now live here. A little move myself. Then let's look. You can see this is actually ping exchange. I can sign in. You see you are back in corepassport.com, where you can also register, and who is registering Core Passport will be the first one to also join our beta testing. Then if you want to join us, is it possible? That's me. Let's continue. And you are in. You see, that's my account. And actually I have KYC done before because already I am checked. Then if everything is fine with me, KYC is approved, which takes a little time, like minute or so, even less with our application, then I can start just trading right now.
It serves to mention that we have also developed in CorePass a website login, which unfortunately we cannot showcase to you right now because we haven't implemented it into our platforms. We are at the moment in the process of implementing this so that you can use the CorePass digital identity to be able to log in into any platform, whether it's website, a centralized website, or whether it's a financial institution website.
Yeah, thank you so much. Then let's look on our UI. Like you can see, right now I have cryptocurrency trading here, but I can drop down, and what I mentioned here is also fiat, securities, metal, commodities, asset, utility tokens, Forex, and others. Then we can put everything in these categories, and if we will switch, we'll see the market. Then you can see right now the market, what I have, the BTC, ETH, and so on. Also XCB, this is core blockchain between various currencies. This is like just for demo purposes, but the market will look a little different. Then you can see right now in the middle, you can see the graphs, which is also can be some kind modified as you wish. And there in the bottom you have three types of market orders. Market, if you want to just enter amount and trade, like really quick. Then you have the limit order, when you can define also the price and also amount, and stop order, which is most advanced for you, where you can trade. On the left hand side, you can see also the current price in here in the middle, what is right now, and in the top and the bottom you see the orders which is about to take the place. And in the bottom, this is like my open orders. If something is not executed yet, then it will happen later on. And trade history on the right hand side, of course. Then let's look at markets. We have plenty of markets here. You can see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, but there is several others. You can go on the next page. You have between South African rand, Swiss franc, euro, and several others. Then we are about to set up all these pairs, but you can see there is also Fiat involved, then this will be also possible. And also with the conjunction with the bank, we can just do the withdrawals. Then let's go to my dashboard. In my dashboard, you can see like my amount in cryptocurrency Fiat. You can click and see. I cannot see the statistics right now because I am not like doing some kind of trade, and our market are not active yet because it's just a demo, but it will happen. And I want to also income you for beta testing. If you can register on corepassport.com, then you can just be the first one to trade. Then let's go to my wallet. You see, I am quite wealthy man right now, but don't be mistaken, this is not the amount I have right now. Is it just a demo? And you can see on the right hand side also my portfolio, on the bottom my summary. You can just hide the small balances, and you can see also the big ones. Then you have the history of the trading. I don't trade so much. KYC verification, what I already did from beginning, and also some kind of external wallets which are here, but I don't have any. Then let's go back to my wallet, and you can see everything there. Of course, we have also support, which is serving our clients. If you have any question and everything else, you can even report the transaction, which is problem taking, or which do you have some problem with, but is it already there? Then also you have also see some down there some other our token, Cap Euro, and also core token is here. This is also some other tokens which we made, but also is like full compliant with our system, and we can also add more tokens and stuff like that. Then you can also deposit and withdraw. Just let's try to deposit core tokens. You can see then you cannot do it right now, unfortunately, but you can do also some other currencies. Then let's try to core coin. You see, and you can switch down there, Bitcoin and several others. Then we can trade everything and put it there. This is like a little overview what we have done in Ping Exchange. We will start Ping Exchange soon, and also with our services. Then you can have everything available for you, and then soon we can trade and also cover our needs. Then this is little showcase. Thank you so much for that, and let's continue with next topic, and in the end we can answer some questions.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. I do apologize for that.
Probably they did it from mine because I was.
Yeah, probably you could have heard me from Rastislav's mic, but never mind. Okay, so to explain, CorePay is a payment gateway. It's very similar to any other payment gateway, but the difference and the better features that we've integrated is the actual integration with Ping Exchange itself, which means you can pay in any currency, whether that is in fiat, whether that is in crypto, or in any digital asset that you can think of. Tokens, commodities, stocks, shares, bonds, anything that has been digitized, which has been digitized within the Ping Exchange, allows you to pay for whatever you want to pay. Now, inside of the CorePay application is not only just a payment gateway that you can integrate with, but it's a payment gateway that has a full invoicing platform, a full store management, stock management, product management, everything that can be integrated in merchants as well as in service providers. You can actually add into the Corpay application and manage everything through the Corpay application. Now, the reason why we are not showcasing this application is because the backend has been completed. However, the front end still needs to be developed, which we are currently in process of. Now, this is the important part to understand. Corpay, you can also use for money remittance, you can use for various other use cases in various other financial institutions, whether centralized or decentralized. So we're going to go on to Wool Money, because Corpay also forms part of Wool Money as well as Ping Exchange. Now, this requires two people to explain Wool Money. So let's give you an introduction of Wool Money. Wool Money is a new banking application. Very similar to what you've seen lately in the markets, whether it was N26, whether it's Revolut, whether it is various other applications. The difference is because of the CorePass application that we have of being able to verify a wallet and verify an individual, we can actually allow you to send Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and of course, Core Coin or Core Token from your wallet, from an external wallet, into your banking application. The banking application is basically a front office of your fiat accounts, your crypto accounts, your token accounts, your securities, your assets, your commodities, your everything that has been digitized using the Core Token smart contract platform and using the Ping Exchange and using CorePass or Corpay, of course, as well as CorePass to identify you as an individual. Now, I'm going to ask Rastislav to explain blockchain-based banking as a service.
Okay, unmuted. Thank you. Then I will explain you something what the Wool Money banking as a service consists of, because we are using for that our blockchain, core blockchain. On that is everything running in conjunction with also other use cases what we have in digital identity, for example, and also we are using there the smart contract functionality YLM. That everything what is processed in our neo banking is going to the core blockchain highway, and on the highway we can process everything in 42 seconds globally, worldwide. What is very important is connect also the fiat system inside. That's why we need process and be full compliant with our things there. We are using digital identity. We are connecting for certain banks. We have certain connection already, but we are connecting more with our oracles and with our system. For connecting to the banks or financial institution is necessary to follow in the crypto some banking standards which can be useful for our blockchain itself. Then we integrate the IBAN address structures and checksum in our system, and also the YLM smart contract language, which is also organizing all the transfer everywhere from one point to the second point in 42 seconds. Then if you can connect two banks, then can transfer between each other the information, and using in the front end our Wool Money application, which can be for user, for customers, for end consumers, the application to quick payment, doing the transfer, everything they need doing in the banking. That's why we are running that on our core blockchain network and connecting the multiple financial institutions which are interested to connect and which are doing some kind of transfers and which want to also transfer from one place to the another place over the world in 42 seconds.
So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to explain to you point of sale device agnostic. Now what that means is we don't need a particular device. We need Android, iOS, or even Windows Mobile. Now the nice thing is that if you are a small merchant or whether you are a big merchant, you can use either a telephone, an Android operated device, whether it's a telephone or whether it's a point of sale device. You can use any of these devices and install the application where you can request funds. Now, how Wool Money works, whether it is in a website, whether you are a merchant, or whether you are a small e-commerce, or not, let's not even say e-commerce, but a small store or an individual, you can request a payment. Now, how that works is it is a push for request to push. Now, in the crypto sphere, to understand, when you want to send money, you have to allow the transaction or push the funds to the wallet. In a fiat amount, which what Rastislav has explained, the digital SWIFT transacting, it works exactly the same. So how that actually works is we allow you to push to request the amount which is due for the individual to approve it and push it from their side, making it once again GDPR compliant. Now, I'm going to ask Rastislav to explain a little bit about domestic and abroad instant transfer and remittance. Rastjo.
Thank you so much. As I mentioned before, we have all the possibility to sending the information using our system of nodes, and everybody can just join the platform. We have several nodes which is named as boits, and these boits are connecting within each other in the mesh network. Then we can transmit this information abroad, and we can serve as a information provider. We can transmit the information whenever you are, even without the internet connection. And if you are in some kind of rural area in Far East, you can connect this information on our blockchain, and you can do the payment whenever you are, basically. Because you are sending the information from Europe, you are sending to the Far East. And when we are connecting these services, the financial services, which we also will be compliant because we are just integrating our services inside, we can transmit this information for like little cost as possible. Because everything is on our network, is it running on our network and can be processed. Even with the higher cryptography, is it very secure, and it's also the fraction of the cost because of the cryptography. It's very secure, and you can send it whenever you are. That's why you can do the remittance, and also we built the oracles which are connecting the system with the blockchain system to current systems. Then if you want to connect some financial institution in Far East and financial institution in Europe or US, you can do it with all these licenses and compliance, and can be transmit the information on the network, transmit over the world or wherever you are, and then the information can be executed on another end with our YLAM smart contract functionality. Then this is very technically affordable, and also is cheap, and we also follow some of the banking system to be compliant with this information, and will be easily used our network in the financial segment, and in the end also in the neo-banking and Wool Money application, because it will serve you as a front end, and you can directly send the remittance information from mobile banking into your place or whenever you are.
So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about recurring payments in crypto and fiat. As I stated before, the crypto payments for recurring payments, so the reason why we have particularly thought of this is because of subscriptions. Now, in Wall Money, to explain to you, when you integrate into the CorePass application and you have an e-commerce website, which is a website that requires a monthly payment to be processed, once again, we initiate the request for, or the push for request to push. So the smart contract in that way actually works that you can request these funds from an individual, and the individual can decide at that given moment. Now, this is to allow the public to decide from which account they would like to pay from. Whether it is a Bitcoin, Ethereum, a Fiat, Euro, Dollar, Yen, South African Rand, any currency actually that you want to pay from that you have in your Wall Money account, you can select prior of when you want to request this amount or when you want to pay this amount. So this is exactly what we have done in the recurring payments. So the recurring payment, as I don't know how your banking system works in your country where you are tuned in from, but how it works is when you want to make an online payment, it asks you to verify in your bank that this is the transaction, this is the amount, and you verify that amount and you place your PIN. It works very similar in Wall Money, which we will illustrate in a few minutes from now. Now, I'm going to ask Rastislav again to please explain to us a little bit about the IBAN structures and the checksum in the blockchain and in Wall Money and how that works.
Thank you so much. I will explain it now about the IBAN structures. And we integrate the IBAN structure inside the blockchain. We rename it to ICANN, but it's following the IBAN structures. And we are just putting the prefixes regards to the network. Then is it not only our network, but it's also yours network, because you can build your own enterprise network, which will also have your prefix. Then you can put their enterprise network prefix. Then we have checksum, which is checking the whole information if there is not misspelling or if there is not something wrong written, because you cannot just write big and small letters, but you need also checksum. And the last is your wallet or your information where we can send the funds, or you can receive the funds or whatever. Then this is also used in the CorePass application as your identity. Then also if your identity you have already your wallet, then we know who is sending, who is receiving the funds, and we can just pair it and also standardize with the financial aspect. This is about the IBAN. Then IBAN is very important for us because then we can also connect with the financial services more easily, and also putting into the oracles and just standardize with the current system what we have right now. Then with the checksum, it's also the second part quite important, because then if you just writing manually your address, you can do some kind of mistake, and then you sending your money basically nowhere, because you cannot just reverse the payment. In this case, then we just put there the checksum, then everything is clear that you cannot just do the mistake, and your funds will be sent in the proper way. Then on the top I mentioned there is also YLAM smart contract functionality which we program, and this smart contract functionality just secure your transfers and sending all the funds.
So the last part is the offline transactions. Now, to explain to you a little bit about offline transactions. Offline transactions work in a very sensitive environment. Now, to be able to do an offline transaction in the crypto sphere or in the blockchain sphere, one needs to have what is called a node. Now, a node is actually what processes the transaction. Inside of CorePass application, inside of Wall Money, inside of any application that we've developed, we have put in what is called light nodes. These light nodes run the blockchain. Now, if two peers, one peer is not connected to the internet and the second peer is not connected to the internet, but they were previously connected to the internet, can still do a transaction when two light nodes can communicate on a peer-to-peer connection. And this is exactly what we've built, is that you are able to do transactions without the need of being online. Because if I transact with my peer, Rastislav, and we both do not have internet, but 30 minutes later, when I get to an environment where I have internet, the node or the light node can upload the transactions. When Rastislav also connects, it can pair the transactions. So this allows you, but still protects you from double spending, but still allows you to do transactions offline. This is also integrated within the Luna Mesh network, which we have integrated with. So the Luna Mesh network works as a mesh network, which is peer-to-peer connections. And you can connect various light nodes to one another from multiple peers, and they can stream the transaction for you. And that is everything about the offline transactions, which I'm going to disclose right now. But let's go on to show you what the Wall Money application looks like. Here you can see the Wall Money. Don't we look wonderful? Rastislav on the one side and I'm on the other side.
I'm too small there. But we are same size, yeah?
Okay. So here I'm going to take you through. So here we actually have the application itself. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. I need to be on another place here. There we go. So here you can actually see your fiat transactions, which you have a euro account, another euro account, you can have a dollar account, you can have a yen account, a South African rand account, you can have multiple fiat accounts in whichever currency that you want. Here you have your crypto balances, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, of course, we forgot to put in the core coin, which I don't know why we didn't pick that up prior, but never mind. So let's first start with the payment request. So as previously stated, for those to see it in a visual manner, if I have a payment request, it will pop up in my application stating payment request. When I click on the payment request, it will say Bila. Now Bila, I don't know in which country you're from, but this would be, if you are in the US, Whole Foods, or it could be Five Guys, one of our favorites, just by the way.
Carrefour.
It could be when you are in France, Carrefour, but also in other parts in Europe, Carrefour. It could be when you are in South Africa, it could be Spar, it could be Pick n Pay or Checkers. And these can be multiple, whatever merchant that you can think of. This can be the merchant that states, this merchant is requesting this amount of money from you with this SWIFT code, this transaction, or the transaction description, the reference number, and the bank reference number. So you can either accept or decline. If you click accept, you can then decide whether you want to pay from your fiat or whether you want to pay from your crypto or digital asset. And when you click in between these, you can of course select one. This we're going to pay from our savings, and this will then provide you the exchange rate. Now, this is to state to you that we are currency agnostic. So if I'm going to pay in euro, but the merchant accepts US dollars, it will give me the exchange rate, and it will tell me the total amount that I need to pay at that given moment, given the exchange rate that is taking place real time. So I don't overspend or oversend the amount that I need to. So when I accept and pay, I have to put in my PIN code. When I put in my PIN code, it says payment successful, and the money has been transferred from the account that I have selected. So when we go down here, you can send, receive, exchange, top up, or pay with card. So let's send some money and do some money remittance. So once I click on here, I can select bank accounts, crypto, template, and this I could have topped up from my Trezor wallet, my Ledger wallet, my offline wallet, whichever currency, cryptocurrency, token, whatever you want in a digital asset. Once you can verify that you are the individual of that wallet, or whether you state that you are the individual of that wallet, you can actually transfer from that wallet to your Wall Money account. It's not like Revolut or N26 or anything like this. It is that you are allowed to transfer from any wallet to your Wall Money account, that you can actually transfer the funds in what you want to transfer. So if I select now, I'm going to transfer from this account, and I'm going to transfer core coins. Nice. Then I can see the amount that I'm going to transfer, and there's an exchange that needs to take place. So I'm going to preview the payment. It's going to tell me what is the exchange. So if I am flush in Bitcoin, but the merchant accepts core coin, then it will state to me that the exchange rate for US dollar for the core coin wallet is this amount. And I can then put in my PIN.
Is it very easy PIN?
Very, very easy PIN. This is not my actual PIN, so please don't try it. But there the transaction has taken place. And this is the simplicity behind Wall Money. Now, it sounds complex, but it's actually extremely simplistic to manage. So let's move on to our next part, which is Toktoki. Now, to explain to you a little bit about the various legs that we had. So we've just gone through the network, which is the blockchain, core token, CorePass, the Luna Mesh network, all these networks that you use to facilitate. We just went after that through the financial leg of the entire ecosystem. And this is what defines a digital economy, is the last part, which creates this total circle, which is marketplace. Now, Toktoki, token to key, is your entire e-commerce platform. So first of all, I'm going to just give you a brief overview. Now, I would like to quote someone which has pumped Bitcoin and Dogecoin quite a lot, and that is Elon Musk. So Elon Musk has stated, if you want to create something which is similar or which exists, you can't just duplicate it. You have to make it better. But you can't just make it better. You have to make it extraordinary. And this is exactly what we did in Toktoki. We created something that is similar to Amazon. Now, Amazon being centralized, and I don't want to tread on any toes when mentioning this, but I would like to say the following. We created an e-commerce platform for everyone. And what I mean with everyone is that it's peer-to-peer and decentralized. And what this means is it's borderless. It means you can transact, you can sell to anyone, anywhere in the world. And I'm going to show you and explain to you how we achieved this. So, first of all, I'm going to talk to you about the API and Oracle connections. Now, when you own an existing e-commerce store, you have, whether you are a big enterprise or a small e-commerce platform, you have probably an established e-commerce website. And what we did is we created the API and Oracle connectors. This allows you to talk to platforms. And what we did is we created these Oracle and API connectors for you to be able to upload your information from your centralized system, from your current existing website, and push the information to your Toktoki store. Now, how does Toktoki work? Toktoki works like a mesh network, but also peer-to-peer. So your transactions are directly to your consumers. You don't have a payment gateway you go through. You don't have anything you go through. You directly integrate with the individuals. So I'm going to move on to actually show you the platform itself. Now, to explain to you, the entire backend has been completed and designed and developed. However, the front end, we're busy working on the UI UX, and we're busy working on the front end to make sure that it is the most user-friendly platform available. So let me present to you the Toktoki platform itself. So here you can see, you can start selling with Toktoki. So you can create a store. Now, the first thing that we did is that you can customize your store to improve what Amazon has. Now, you can be a reseller on Amazon, but you can't customize it according to your brand identity, which we find extremely important. So when you want to create your store, here's the CorePass login. Okay, it's automatically logged in. So we then have our identity that has been verified to prove that our KYB, which means know your business. So we proved that we own this business, and we proved that we are the individual that can represent this business. So once we've created it, now this is how the CorePass login works. It's one scan and all your data is pre-filled. You don't need to fill out forms. You don't need to do anything, because all your data that you transmitted is automatically filled out for you and securely transacted, that you know as an individual who has your data. You control that. So here my data has been pre-filled, and I can now go and start with my store information. So I can put my description, I can state my store name, and then I can start with the builder. So now I can create my store. So this is a little bit of a walkthrough. We have a type of a walkthrough here, but we will just take you through the entire platform. So I can select the type of template that I want: presentation, product grid, categories, and I can even customize my templates. Then I can go and customize according to my colors of my brand. So once I've decided on the customization of the colors, I can then go and add multiple sections in the platform itself. So when I click on add, I can then add either a full banner, 2 banners, 3 banners, or 4 banners. So if I select this part, I can say add the selection, and now I can go and preview my store. So this is my store that I've created with adding all my products and everything. This is just to speed up the process. So here I've done everything. So I'm a little bit fat, but I do like exercise. So, but this is all about an exercise store. So here I have my entire product suites which I can offer, and all the various things that I can offer. And I can then actually go and go to the, so the next part that I need to explain to you is, apart from having a store builder, we have what is called the discovery page. Now, this is what Amazon has, but there's a big differentiator between it. First of all, yes, you can browse your products, you can select the categories, you can view products here, but let's say, for example, I want to go to smartphones, and I can view multiple smartphones from multiple merchants. So once I have, then I can go and filter the various parts. So I can do the price ranges, the color, the condition, everything. I can actually go and decide what I want. But I like the iPhone, so I'm going to go with iPhone Pro Max. Happy, there you go, Apple, free promo. So here we go to iPhone Pro Max, and there are multiple selections that you can have. So I want to take the 128 gig. And this is what is the most important part. This is what is the differentiator between Amazon and ourselves. Amazon, you are stuck in the region that you can purchase from. You are stuck with the country where it can be delivered. But in our case, that's not the case because it's peer-to-peer. So if I add this to buy, now I have a pre-selected cart here. And the differentiator is you can see US dollar, you can see South African rand, and you can see euro. Now, what differentiates us in an e-commerce platform is that you can buy multiple products from multiple merchants in multiple countries, in multiple currencies, with a single transaction. Now, to explain to you how that works, that's like going to the shopping mall and deciding that you're going to go and buy some products, but it's a global shopping mall, and you can go anywhere. You can select all your products into your basket, and instead of, when you walk out of the store, paying, you just continue on walking, and you put all your products into the cart. But when you get to your car, just before you get in, you make one transaction, only one. And that can be in the currency that you decide, because Ping Exchange is integrated, as well as Core Pay is integrated into the platform, making it seamless and saving individuals money as well as merchants money on transaction costs. I'm going to show you the next part of what makes this platform really amazing. And that is where we have added what is called content recognition. Now, content recognition means the following. We can recognize any video, any audio, and any image, as well as even in real time. What that means is we can monetize. If you're a YouTuber, if you are a merchant that is sponsoring a product for a TV show or for a movie, or you're running a TV advert, or you're running a YouTube advert, or you get sponsored as a YouTuber, you can scan these products from the Toktoki application and purchase them instantaneously. Of course, the products and the merchants have to be registered on the platform. But what it actually does for merchants is it creates a supportive marketing medium with an immediate call to action. And what it does for users is simplifies the finding of the actual product that you want. Now I'm going to show you the proof of concept and the real application working. The first is we're going to showcase you the video, then we're going to showcase you the audio, then we're going to showcase you the image. It might be in a different, I can't remember now the video exactly, it might be in a different, probably it will be image first. But the last part, we were at the London Fashion Week, and we picked up the exact material which was used for the exact product that was made. So let me go to show you this video. Just give me 1 second. There we go. I'm going to just pause it so that you can see it. And I'm going to change the scene. So here we go. So this is Toktoki in real live action. Now, as said, image first. So here you can scan the image, and we slowed down the process because it's normally much faster, but you can pick up multiple products, not just one product, but you can pick up the entire outfit. This is a video, Maroon 5, which we just took, and we took the shoes which was actually or that was used. This is a JBL where we recorded the sound, and it was an advert actually about clothing. And here is where we were in London Fashion Week on the walkway where you can pick up the material, but you can actually pick up the entire dress of the entire platform. Now, talking about video and talking about a decentralized and peer-to-peer network, we're saving the best to last. And that is our Ting and Meeting platform, which we are so proud of and absolutely gobsmacked at how amazing our team has been for developing this, let alone all the other products, because every single project which we've done, every single team that's in there has really worked extremely hard. So I'm going to take you on to the next platform, which I will ask my colleague here, Rastislav, to present with me. So Rastislav and I will be presenting this together, where first of all, I'm going to explain to you what is the Ting platform. Now, Ting, once again, as Elon Musk said, if you're going to develop a product which is existing, it has to be amazing. It has to change everything. And this is exactly what we did. We developed a peer-to-peer OTT, which means over-the-top video streaming platform. Now, what that means is it's entirely decentralized and it's borderless for you to be able to stream any video anywhere in the world and get any viewer anywhere in the world to be able to view your content and to subscribe to you as an individual or as an organization, and to broaden your audience and cultures which you can expose everything to. Now, I'm going to ask Rastislav to explain a little bit in a technical manner what the Ting platform can do.
Maybe you are asking how many servers we need in the platform, but is it very easy? None of them. Because we are using the servers from the people. We are using the peer-to-peer communication. And that's why we are also so fast, because you are using your system nearby and you are connecting for certain people in your region. That's why you don't have so much lagging. You have a lot of connectivity. Even more people are watching the video, even faster is it. Then everything we are putting on this system, and you can just transmit fast, and you don't have even some problem with blocking people, because you are streaming in your region and you are just also receiving the files in the region, and you can just watch it and even faster. This makes us really strong in this matter. Also, next thing is about the private videos. We can use the encryption, and you can stream the videos, and if you pay for your license, or if you pay for a certain video, like video on demand, you can watch it. You can watch it, and no copyright is broken, but everything is in your region, and technically it's very fast and very possible. Also in our meeting platform, we are using a similar structure, very similar. Then you are using your computer to be one of these nodes, and you can just use these nodes to transmit the information. Then maybe you're asking about this presentation, how it look like, but this presentation can be run on a meeting platform. You can see we are talking now, we are transmitting, we are just going to the YouTube, but this same video can go to the Ting platform and be done in the meeting platform. Then you don't need some other softwares which are right now in the market, but you can use the meeting platform itself. You can achieve the same structure, same graphic, or same background and all these cameras in the platform. And what is very important, is it online? Is it not the software application? Is in your browser? Of course, there is a big challenge how you put this information in the browser, but we have a great team and they did it. Then all this information are in your browser and you are just connecting everywhere nearby. Is it fully decentralized and you are just putting the information more and more? And is it basically unstoppable because you are not using some kind of central server, but you are just connecting to the near nodes near your vicinity, and also the connection. You don't need a really strong connection in this case because you are not connecting to the servers, to the YouTube or to the other platforms, but you are connecting to peer-to-peer network directly.
So the last part that I'm going to explain to you, and this is earn an income through participation. We have developed, and we are currently still developing, it's not in final phases yet, there's still quite a bit of development that we are doing. But one of the differentiators between us and YouTube, Vimeo, or any other streaming platform is that we have developed an algorithm that uses multiple aspects to calculate your participation. Now, every single platform which we have developed, if you are an individual working, or if you are a normal public person using the platform to do research or to just entertain, we believe that this is all part of a community. And we developed an algorithm which is still in progress and is quite far in the development phase, where you can earn an income by streaming or by viewing, by participating. The effort that it takes you to write a comment, the effort that it takes you to search for a video, the effort that it takes you to do a transaction, the effort that it takes you to do an exchange. Every single thing is your effort, which means it's your time. And time, as everyone knows, is the most valuable thing we own in life, or have in life. We don't own time, but we have time. And we have only a limited amount of it. So we believe that if you are participating in the community and in the digital economy, you can earn an income from it. And this is exactly the algorithm which we are currently developing, which is also being implemented into the Ting platform to make sure that you get remunerated for your effort. You get remunerated for your participation. You get remunerated for your work. If you're an individual which is working for yourself and you don't earn a salary, if you're making a payment, if you're doing something for the business, or if you're doing something for other people, you could earn a passive income through our ecosystem. Now let's get to the exciting part and let's show you what Ting looks like. So let me just set up the scene here. So here we have the Ting platform. Very similar, like you can see multiple other videos here. Oh wait, I need to probably go on to the right platform here. So here you can see multiple videos that we've uploaded, and you can see little previews. You can watch a video, And here you can actually see there's, let me just mute the sound there, but there you can see one peer is watching it right now. When more peers come and watch it, the faster the video becomes, as Rastislav said. Because our platform being decentralized and being peer-to-peer, unlike YouTube, unlike Netflix, unlike Amazon Prime, we don't work on a centralized server. We work on a basis where the more people connect, the faster the video becomes, because the more the packets are distributed. And this is exactly what we built here. So this is just the Toktoki video, which we're just playing here again. Now, the important part to explain to you is, I will sign in here and I will show you. Let me just sign in. So, what differentiates us from YouTube? Now, first of all, I'm going to go to my profile and I'm going to show you. This is my profile. That's me, that's my dog. And here you can put your description. Like YouTube, yes, it's the same. But when I go to my channels, one profile equals one channel on YouTube. We say nonsense. One profile, and you can have multiple channels. Actually, you shouldn't just have multiple channels. You should allow collaboration. Allow other people to participate in it. Bring more people on to manage the channels. So if you are an individual that's streaming on multiple channels, you can have multiple channels here that you can create and that you can stream out, which has got different types of content for different types of audiences, to customize your content the way that you want to customize your content. The next part is playlists. Now, what's quite important here is, if I'm an individual and I want to entertain someone, let's say I'm a DJ and I want to use famous artists' songs that I want to put into a mix that I want to share and I want to make it public, I can earn an income from it. Now, you're going to ask, what about copyright infringement? This is exactly where CorePass once again comes in, and where the Ting platform comes in. So if I'm the owner of the IP that has uploaded my videos, that IP belongs to me. And if someone else wants to use my video, the Core Token smart contract platform comes into place. A smart contract gets established. I can implement that video into my platform. Someone can subscribe to my channel, pay me for the channel. But at the same time, automatically, because I'm the DJ, I pay the royalty fees and not do copyright infringement on the owner of the IP of the video. I immediately automatically pay them for their rights of using their video, creating a passive income for the artist to allow the artist to create more videos. At the same time, I can earn my living off of entertaining people. And that goes for any other video and any other collaboration that you can do. If you are paying people to participate in your channel or in your playlists to create these, they automatically get paid through the payments that you receive inside the Ting platform. The next question is, and you can see this is browser based, but the next question is, how do I get my content online? Now, before we go to how I get my content online, let's say we're doing this webinar right now, and we have multiple parties in multiple places all over the world. Alfred, Rastislav, myself, Michael, of course, Rastislav and myself are together. Michael is also here with me, but Alfred is in a different location. And we are still streaming this. However, we had to use multiple different platforms to be able to do it. So let's first go to the meeting platform. Now here's the meeting platform. I'm logged in here. I'm just going to make sure that I'm logged in. And I'm just going to reload. Let's log in. Let's make sure I'm there. Okay, I'm logged in. So I can start a meeting. or join a meeting. This is the same as what you would get on Google, Zoom, but I don't have to download an application. But let's start a meeting. And I'm just going to set the room name, and I'm going to call it test. And I'm going to start a session. So now I'm in the session. I can allow my camera and things, but of course, because we have multiple devices connected, you won't be able to see my camera right now. But what I can show you here is we have multiple features. We have the live chat, we have normal chat, we have file sharing, we have polls. Let me start a poll. And I will just say, let me just pull the keyboard maybe closer to me, it might be easier. Is this great? And we can say, yes. Sure. Exactly. And I can start a poll. When I create a poll, voting can take place. So you can see there is an active poll at the moment, and there's 52 seconds available. So depending on the amount of parties that's here, it's going to showcase you what's the outcome of the vote that you've created. But inside the meeting platform, we have also created what is called the assigning a task. So you can assign a task to an individual, state the date, describe the task, and the individual can accept it, making it, of course, GDPR compliant, and at the same time, making it so that you can manage this task. Now, everything that's taking place here, we have been able to create what is called the meeting minutes, which means every task that you assigned, every poll that you've created, every message that was sent, everything that happened. Now, I haven't answered here yet. Okay, so the poll finished. I didn't answer, but it didn't show the final result because no one voted. But basically, the minutes of the meeting will showcase you the exact outcome of the entire meeting without being stored or recorded on a single server. It's all on a peer-to-peer basis.
I will mention one thing, because also there is working with the core pass, and you have your own identity. Then we know who is the room, yeah? If you log in with your core pass, you can even lock the room for certain people, and nobody will interfere your discussion or your meeting, because the core pass is controlling your identity, and you have done your KYC inside the core pass application. Then you can join, and everybody knows what is happening there.
Now, to just show you, as we said, how do you get content easily onto a streaming platform without using third-party softwares? Well, there's a record button right here. Start recording. Now you can record or stream. Now it's going to give me here a link, and I'm going to open up the link, and immediately you can see here my live stream is taking place.
Good.
I can at the same time, I can write here. Okay, we have a problem with the sound here. But when I go to live chat, you can see that I answered it there. Let me just close that. I do apologize for that. But basically, you can have a live chat, which you can do from the Ting platform to the meeting platform, and from the meeting platform to the Ting platform. And this is all on a peer-to-peer basis without a server. The next part, which is very important, which I'm going to show you here, and I'm actually going to reload the platform to showcase this to you. Now here we have start an instant meeting, the same as what we did previously. We're going to name the meeting. We're going to call it test. We're going to write here meeting password, and I'm going to create it. It seems that I by accidentally messed up the OBS. Okay, so I've created the meeting, but here you can actually see the OBS taking place. So now we have actually where you can set up the way that you want to stream it. So this is just a quick little walkthrough. But here you actually have scenes, and you can add your scene, and we can call this a test scene, and say save. We can add a source, and that can be an image asset, a screen capture, or video inputs or audio inputs. Let's take a screen capture and select that. And we will select a window here. And let's select the Toktoki introduction. So we will select that.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, I need to allow. And we have selected that. Now I can go and set up this according to how I want it. And this is all in your browser without a third-party software. I can go and add a second source, and let's put another image capture, and we will put the Streamlabs. No, let's not put the Streamlabs. What else do we have? We have our entire screen. So we're going to allow it. And here you have a second field that you can now move around over on top of it inside of your browser. And this means when you go back to the call here, all your peers are here, and you set up in a seamless, without third-party software, exactly what you want to stream and how you want to stream it. And this is what makes it exciting, is that it is easy to upload videos, content, and various other parts. Now, the other part that you don't know about the Ting platform is that it's seamlessly integrated with the Toktoki platform. And you can actually, when you create a channel, you can create a store, which means you can upload your product, so your Toktoki store's products automatically come on, linked to the video that you are promoting, and you don't need to go to a third party or another website to go and purchase the product. You can do it all whilst your video is being streamed, and whilst the viewer is being entertained. They can purchase the products right there and then without ever leaving the platform, making it all seamlessly integrated. So, I would like to go forward now to explain to you a little bit with Michael about core token growth and about how we see the future. So I would like to hand you over to Michael to explain that.
So thank you very much, Oki Rastislav, for your extensive explanations. Tonight I hope that everybody that is still here, that are here still listening to us, can see or can witness the entire platform as what we've explained to you. Now, what is the most interesting thing that came out of this platform, hopefully, that the message we try to bring to you, is that all the use cases that we've actually brought together, is going far beyond also just the application within the core group platform or the core platform itself, the ecosystem itself. We're currently talking to governments and in the likes of where we are talking implementing the core blockchain network and allowing the platform to be integrated with multiple corporates in their environment. We are talking to three really leading banks already, which are in a deep discussion with us already about the implementation of the core blockchain network. What is critical is that you hope you got the message that our focus is that we are actually building our blockchain around regulatory and compliance environment, and to be sure that if we want to enter into the platform, if to anybody, that it is clear that a blockchain or a network that is not going to focus on compliancy and on regulation will not succeed in the market. This is our opinion, and that is why we have simply gone and made sure that whatever we do in a really deep thought of compliancy and making sure that we meet all regulatory environment issues. What is interesting is you've seen tonight also that apart from the blockchain as a basis, we've got our financial platform, which is basically the fintech platform. It includes far more. The core token reach far more than just the environment of facilitating the crypto part of the blockchain or the transactions within the use cases. It is also aimed at multiple other implementations in e-government environments, in stock exchanges, which will, as time goes by, will come into a point where the whole way of how stock exchanges will operate and how derivatives and digital assets will be traded will be implemented in these stock exchanges. This, of course, and if you can see it, the core token can be offered for any of the services that we have discussed here. All our use cases that we've mentioned, all our use case platforms which we have built, the core token is offered as payment for the use of the platform. And this will bring us into how we see the price increases and so on. We've seen already the price increased from 1 cent to 3 cents in the recent times, simply because of the implementation of the core pass. If you look at the core pass as a platform, as you can see, it is implemented in all our systems, the web login, the digital identity, the attributes that is coming to it. Now, all these digital attributes, you are building your own new profile. It's like you are having a platform where you can actually manage anything verified or unverified. You can have document confirmation, verification of your documentation. You can add anything to this platform. And this will, within the core token environment, payable for it. That pushed us to the point that we understood that the demand for core token will substantially grow in this market. And this is the critical part which we need to explain to the community, that when we are actually developing platforms, the demand, although we have 18 digits, the demand for the token will grow substantially as the core token is, or as the core pass, for instance, will be deployed. Some of the places, and there are a lot of people who are talking about COVID and how COVID has changed the world and what has happened in the COVID environment and the medical possibilities of how health passports will be running. But if you only take the principle of what Core Pass is doing, it doesn't matter whether it is a vaccination passport. It can be any other medical environment which you can actually implement in it. You can also today, as we see, the huge growth in IoT devices. These IoT devices has an identity. It has a specific demand for being able to be managed by people or to be managed by particular other assets or other systems in the market, and which creates a huge demand for our token in the platform. So I think, if I can say, the supply and demand on the price, we really see a huge opportunity. I can say that, in short time from now, we will release more information about some other really big projects that will be accepting the core token because they are going onto our platform, which we are already 100% sure where we are going. But it is still early days to talk about it, and I think at this stage it's not, appropriate to mention this next steps. Okay, I don't know if I have to continue now on the other part. Maybe you continue on the future, the use cases explanation I have done, and then, let's come to the tokenization of finance. What we can say is that digital assets you will see a huge growth in the future in digital assets. You will see in the insurance on demand, and this is exactly where it is. So assets that are locked in environments which are not liquid would be able to be offered in a platform where you would be able to underwrite transactions and or to use it in a digital secure token environment, which is, and we like to call it a stable token environment because it is all programmable. Now, to explain what actually happens is, if you take in a supply chain the possibility of a particular asset that is built, and as this asset is being put together, depending on the rating of a particular client, or let's say a manufacturer, this asset becomes more and more valuable and could be actually traded as a stable token, but with a particular risk. This risk continuously reduces as the moment that it goes into the dispatch warehouse and is taken over by an independent logistics party like a shipping company like Maersk, or for that matter MSU, or one of these companies. In the period of the time that this token or this asset is moving from the one point to the other point, absolutely nothing changes in the value of that particular token. And that particular asset can serve as an underwriting to somebody who wants to move out of a volatile market for a short period of time. And we can offer a remuneration because this is all programmable. The guy can enter and exit and build a smart contract around that if he can find the right players in the market for his tokenized environment and build the smart contract around it. In the end, as the one asset goes out, the next asset goes in, and it all becomes a whole possibility of the beauty of building a stable token, which is a little bit different than that of a stable coin that is focused on a particular asset that is locked somewhere in the process.
Right. So maybe what we will do is I will bring up the board or the discussion panel, and we can maybe discuss with everyone else if there's anything else that anyone would like to add to the discussion. Perhaps maybe Alfred, if you can give me the heads up with a nod, if you would like to add something to the discussion. Let me just try and unmute you here. Give me a second. There we go. You can continue, Alfred.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mike. Thanks, Oker. Love, and thank you for staying with us a long time. Intensive explanation so far. We have received some questions so far, and I would say that one or two are basically the main question. Call it. Just may summarize it. It's the burning question is, so when are things going live? Sense. Okay, we have testnet, and now people are testing. Start explain the main people can do that when they join us on Core Passport, and then they just get in touch with us that they can become testers on the ping exchange. But when do we go live? This is the main question that I have received so far, and of course it's always interesting to do that, to hear that. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I will start with the answers. Yes. First, my answer is that I mentioned that everybody can register right now on the website corepassport.com, and then there will be available first beta testers. As I mentioned before, all the software is developed and we are just doing some legal work to make everything compliant, and everything should be in the right time turn on. That we are doing some kind of things with compliance, and also, as we mentioned before, core blockchain is in testnet. We are running testnet. We want to fix all the bugs, and we will soon run the mainnet for a blockchain. For the core token, is it status like that? As soon as we run the core blockchain, core token is on top of it with Vylem. That Vylem will be deployed all our smart contracts, and in this time span, we will also finalize the legal procedures and release the ping exchange. Then you can expect very soon this first platform, but I recommend that to register on corepassport.com. You can find out, and of course you can look on coretoken.net when you can find already right now the core token.
I would like to take the second part, where I would like to explain a lot of the development has been completed. We are 6 years in development and have accomplished quite a lot as a team. However, we are right now at the moment in process of legal parts where we are registering the various companies which are out of our control, and we cannot disclose as to when we can exactly on the exact date go live. However, I can say with a great smile on my face, within 2 months, a lot of the platforms will be live. And this is because we've already been several months in the process of registering all the various companies, getting all the various licenses, whether it would be financial institution licenses or whether it is just other licenses which we require to do the business that we need. But as you saw, the development has been completed and the platform is quite far under development and underway, and that we can actually release several of the products into the market. So it all depends on regulators. It all depends on financial or from the not just regulators, but from a legal perspective of how long certain of these procedures take for us to go live. Michael, maybe if you'd like to add something.
Yes, thank you, Uki. I can say that some of the integrations that we are currently doing, which will actually cause the token demand, is also quite important. We are talking to several companies at the moment. We are specifically integrating the large part of the supply chain platform and the IoT devices in multiple projects together with our partner Totems. We can say that there are some really interesting projects that are coming live, which includes rather large main corporate institutions, financial institutions, as well as an interesting possibilities in logistics, as well as in multiple security platforms where we are currently releasing the demand, or hoping that the demand of the token will be more underwritten by this use cases. Of course, other use cases like the core pass is going to be a rather big implementation. We have multiple clients who we are already integrating with, and if you make sure you're registered on our networks, you will start to see as we release this information when and where we will be implementing the platform, which will be multiple platforms simultaneously for release.
I think what is also imperative to explain is the difference between the core and the token itself, or the coin and the token itself. So the coin is part of the blockchain. It's a cryptocurrency. This is Core Coin. This is XCB. The token itself is actually like the executor. Now, to explain to you the difference, the coin is a means of payment, even though the token can also be used as a means of payment, but the coin is actually like a type of currency. It's a digital currency, or a digital, let's call it rather a digital asset. The token itself is a utility token which is used for services. All the services which we have developed, everything inside the core ecosystem for you to be able to execute a smart contract. It's like the type of fees that you pay, which is a banking fee. Now, instead of paying that in a currency, which is euro, dollar, yen, or whatever, you actually pay it in core token. And that is exactly what the difference is between the coin and the token itself. Now, to explain to you what the growth or the possibilities of the growth is, this is something that we cannot predict. This is something that we can only state that the amount of demand, as Michael said, the limited supply that we have is 1 billion. Now, that sounds like a lot, but when you are implementing a digital identity, which is the first in the world, there is no other identity like this. And when it comes to using websites for login and doing multiple services with the identity itself and financial services and everything, you can predict for yourself what the amount of demand will be on the token itself, hence why it has 18 decimal places. When it comes to the coin itself, having 42 seconds in transaction anywhere in the world and having a digital SWIFT platform built in with IBAN structures, this you can also depict on yourself, on what will be the demand of that coin. In the position that it puts you in is that you can actually transact from the US to Europe, from Australia to Europe, from Europe to Australia, or from anywhere to anywhere in the world in 42 seconds. If you just let's take a simple industry, one of the biggest in the world, car manufacturing. There are multiple plants all over the world which has a head office somewhere established, and they need to pay salaries. They need to plan at least anything between 6 weeks. Let's cut it short, 3 weeks. 3 weeks is the shortest, 6 weeks in advance, to make sure that the funds are transferred and cleared in the accounts prior to them actually being able to pay the salaries for that amount. Imagine what that does to the liquidity of a business, that they can do it in 42 seconds, regardless of the amount. And that is exactly what the demand and the supply and we tell you to think for yourself. What we have developed, you can depict for yourself what the value of the coin and the token will be. That we can unfortunately not tell you what is our prediction, but we can tell you what is the use case of it.
I want to mention there is several projects in the market, and you can look what they are doing, and you have the full spectrum in us, which is using core token. And I think this is also telling you something, how we can use the token, how we can implement it. Also, our network is working basically without the internet connection. We have the possibility to reach the people, to get to the people, use all the services. Even though you are accessing really bad for the people, there is still possibility for core token.
I would like to add to what Rastislav was saying there, that at the moment, some of our biggest demand is on the Core Pass platform to implement it. And if I can say how big it is amazing the amount of inquiries we have on Core Pass. So much so that to be able to develop on it, we are already talking about implementing platforms in our crypto hub environment for training and for helping and supporting of developers who would like to implement the blockchain. One has to understand the success of the blockchain itself is about the community who is using it. It's about the community who is implementing it. And those are the creators of the smart contracts. And we provide them this infrastructure of the core blockchain network to implement smart contracts that could really, really change the world and that could really implement possibilities that is legio in what we are actually, just can envisage by the CorePass alone. The amount of possibilities that CorePass offers to companies who will be implementing it, and the smart contracts that could be created from that, and the tokenized platforms which they can do on the core token platform, is absolutely a huge opportunity for further training and for further education. And we are now already negotiating on multiple jurisdictions or areas where we are currently talking to about training developers in the local market.
I want to mention one thing. We want to protect our work, protect the people who is using the network, and protect the community. That's why most of our software is open source for everybody, because there is the best protection for you. Also, we are protecting all the parts of the business with the various schemes. Then nobody can just disturb the network, because we are in the opinion that our project is quite big and can serve the whole global community or whole spectrum of the people. Then that's why we are trying to protect this as much as possible. And we are not protecting for ourselves, but for your wealth and for your profit.
I would also like to mention, as in the comments here, of whether it's proof of work or proof of stake, we are proof of work. And as we stated before, if you tuned in earlier, we are proof of work in IoT devices. We are not minting the coin. There is no mintable. That's why the token has a limited supply, because we will not mint more and we will not issue more. The coin itself, we do not mint whatsoever. It's all proof of work. And we have a foundation. It is all based on consensus. So it's the people's network, very similar to the beginning approach of Ethereum. It was all about consensus, and that it's the people's network. This is something that I have to really give Vitalik a shout out to for making Ethereum the people's network. We take the same approach, decentralized, make it the people's network. It's not our blockchain. It's a blockchain that we can use. We can use as a community. We can use as the public. We can use it for the use cases of which it needs to be used for. Not just to do transactions with, but to actually interact and do it securely, to actually transact not only financial transactions, but data. And this is exactly what we've built the network for, is to make sure that everyone can participate in it. Using IoT devices, whether it's a mobile, whether it's a Raspberry Pi, or whether it is a supercomputer, it doesn't matter. It's all CPU based, and the algorithm is actually equally distributed. The other thing that I would like to say, which is quite important, is that we didn't build a blockchain just to have a coin and just to have a token. We built a blockchain to have a network that we can deploy use cases that can be actually used in everyday life, that blockchain can be used in everyday life. Because blockchain is such an amazing technology and has such an amount of security and protection, not just for public, but also for private enterprises, for businesses, for anyone that wants to transact with anyone. And if used correctly and if implemented correctly, can be an absolute phenomenal new evolution for the world itself. And this is exactly what we've built it for.
Okay, what is the difference between Ethereum and our blockchain? There is quite a lot of differences, because there are many good blockchain in the system. Not only us, there are plenty. But I think our cryptography ED448 is really good for our use cases. Then we are using also proof of work, the small devices with the waste energy. We are not using big farms like Bitcoin is using right now, or Ethereum is using a lot of graphics card and a lot of energy consumption. This is not our aim. Then we are just connecting to the network and want to reach the people, all the people on the planet. Then we are just connecting with the mesh network, and this mesh network is distributing the people. Then this is vast of difference between many blockchains, not only us, but plenty of them. But our blockchain should serve the people, should serve the community, and is it open source and everybody can connect.
Asti, I would think that you should add to that, the way that nodes and miners will be distributed with our platforms that we are intending to deploy, where we will have distributed networks where people will be able to use the distributed networks for implementation of their blockchain, of the blockchain itself.
Yes, I want to mention that also that we are distributing the small IoT devices, distributing in the various places, can serve as a transmission and a receiver for our blockchain, can be deployed on various use cases, not only like stand holding devices, but also can be used as car, in boats, in fleets, and many other use cases where you can connect to the network and just be in the touch with the services run on the core blockchain network. It can be even the government services if you have law enforcement, for example, or if you have some other stuff to be in the touch with. Also services for you as a people for government and some other services, even like medical information, because we have the Core Pass platform and you can save a lot of information and interact with the whole blockchain. Then you can just reach your nearest point and interact with that. Of course, the whole network is working as a mesh network. This interacts with each other, and even though somebody wants to just stop the network, is it not really successful because jammers, you can jam just one device or plenty nearby, but you don't have so strong jammers to just disturb the whole network. There will be plenty of these devices which will communicate with each other. That it's really hard to jam this device, which gives us also a big opportunity to integrate in several other use cases which require this kind of network.
I can add, for instance, for specifically our American listeners tonight, some of them actually know about it, that we are implementing in various local authorities where we are in deep discussions already with them of deploying the network, not only for educational purposes, but simply for communication and for protection of the data of these local authorities. There we're with our Core Pass login systems and so on. So we are already, in a discussion with them, and we can't reveal where exactly, but at this stage we can say that the chances of having a pilot project in the very near future for this is quite close.
I would also like to add one question which was asked here or made in the statement of Toktoki being able to be a scam. First of all, I would like to thank Volodymyr for he's one of our head or team leaders. What I would like to say is Toktoki is built in a way where there are moderators, there's KYC, KYB, there's the Core Pass that we know exactly who the individual is. So to answer your question on whether you can scam on the Toktoki platform, make sure you don't. And make sure you don't come with ill intentions. Because the KYC and the KYB, it's all registered inside the databases, it's all integrated. And if you are planning on scamming or doing anything or any naughty business whatsoever on the Toktoki platform, it's monitored. Not being monitored that we monitor it, it's actually linked to your identity, it's linked to the things that you do. So if you don't take responsibility for your own actions, this is where blockchain actually takes a very interesting part to it. Because the responsibility that you take for your actions is actually measured against your identity that you have, which you need to take responsibility for what you do on the platforms. And it's not us who makes a decision, it's the public that votes you. And we have a full voting system, we have a full peer-to-peer community. So if you don't deliver what you say that you will deliver, you will get a bad rating and people will not buy from you. And the KYC and the KYB, with all being integrated with the Core Pass application, allows exactly for this type of misuse of a platform to not take place.
in simple terms, I can say that you can't hide behind your own identity.
Well said. Perhaps maybe I will unmute Alfred if he would like to say something further. Let me just...
Let me see if it works even. I hope you can hear me now. The microphone should work as it worked before, but anyhow, I think we have said enough, answered enough. I don't want to keep us too long because I think anyways we will keep on getting more and more questions. As we said in the beginning, you can send us questions by email and also get in our Telegram groups. We have chat there are groups where you can even ask the questions. We are quite active there already. And from now on, we would like to have such panels like we have tonight more often on a more regular way, so that we just have, let's say, the most asked questions to make a screen where we answer them, or we make again, like now, Q&A, where you can come in and ask the questions. So you will see us more regularly now, and more to say, not really. I think we have said enough and you have seen enough. So for today, I think we will rather fairly quickly upload the video so that you can re-watch it, because I think many of you will need to look at it again. We will also do our best to translate it so that we have different subtitles in your languages, because I know that we have quite a big German-speaking audience also. So give us some time. We will do that also. We upload it. And yeah, that was it for tonight. I would welcome you in our webinars that we have in German. We will also try to do something in English now regularly, but all the information you get in our Telegram groups. And please join, and thanks for now.
Thank you very much, Alfred. I would also like to thank everyone. I would like to thank our viewers. I would like to thank you for spending the evening with us. And we wish you to please stay safe, take care of yourself, and most of all, we hope you enjoyed it. We are pretty excited.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much to join us. And if you have any question in regards to the technology, I will be happy to answer you by emails. And send us the email if you have any questions, and we'll answer you all.
I would like to thank everybody. Moreover, I would also like to thank our team. We have an amazing team. They work extremely hard. They are dedicated. I include not only the technical team, the sales team. Everybody are doing a great job. And, you know, I don't want to mention everybody by name, but Alfred is is doing a great job trying to get these people together, and to all these people, and Rastislav and Ockert, and their way of managing the technical side and the development side. It's not always easy, but they're doing a great job, and we're thankful for that. And we want to take the opportunity to thank every one of you in all these teams. Shortly, there will be, more names available that everybody can see who's everybody. And I think what is also important, I want to thank our community, for you who support us, and especially for you still around tonight, listening to us after so many hours. We really appreciate your time, and we really appreciate you, wanting to know more about what we're doing. We will send you more information. We will update you more about what we're doing. This is 100% sure, because now we are able to really say what we have done, what we've developed, and we hope that you enjoyed the evening.